that Israel was very frustrated, very angry about the EU's recent decision to publish the guidelines we're hearing that imposed financial restrictions on lands that have been occupied by Israel since 1967. The European Union made this move, it said, in a policy that was clear before. It views the settlements as illegal. Do you think it was put under pressure by Israel and the United States because of its earlier decision to put Hezbollah on the blacklist to please Israel?
No, I don't think this has anything to do with Israel. And I should point out, to correct your other guest, that in fact, by an the independent testimony of one Colonel Kemp of the British Armed Forces, who was a commander in Afghanistan, among other places, he said of the IDF during its Operation led operation in Gaza, he said no army in history has done as much to protect civilians from collateral damage as the IDF of Israel has done. And as for the U.S. and Israel, these are democratically elected governments. In fact, Israel is the only democratically elected government in the Middle East, and so the IDF is carrying out the policies articulated by the government, whereas Hezbollah is carrying out an Islamist agenda from Iran and the IDF and so there is
the Gaza Strip in a bold act of aggression, breaking international law.
Have you been there?
And killing civilians as wantonly as any. Yes,
were you a witness?
Absolutely.
Were you a witness? Were you
more
there?
than 10 times.
Were you there?
I was a witness.
Were you an eyewitness to that?
I was in Gaza during I was an eyewitness to a number of other slaughters in Gaza, including Operation Autumn Clouds, the killing of Salah Shahada, and
propaganda.
The siege of Jenin on the West Bank.
This is leftist propaganda from Madison, Wisconsin.
It's not propaganda when you watch IDF soldiers shoot children. It's not propaganda when I see it with my own eyes.
Where do you get off with this?
It's not propaganda when I hear an American-made F-16 fly over one of the most crowded buildings in one of the most crowded neighborhoods of Gaza, drop a 2,000-pound bomb on an apartment building after midnight in the summer of 2002, killing 15 civilians and destroying every home within a 10-mile radius, all in order to kill a man who had just agreed to sign a truce with Israel, between Israel and Hamas. I was there. I was there, and Hamas had just agreed to make a truce.
Hamas and the other terrorists of Gaza put their troops right among the family, and they do not separate their troops from the human living areas.
There are children in the morgues of Kamal Adwan and Shifa Hospital who are targets of the Israeli military after the tanks roll in and shoot people who go out of their houses to get water and food. You're asking me if I was an eyewitness,
and
I'm
nonsense.
Telling you,
you didn't see that. That's leftist propaganda. That's leftist propaganda from Madison, Wisconsin. Why, if you're so concerned about slaughter, how about the 100 and some thousand people who have died in Syria?
See what
Are you concerned about the 100 and some thousand people who have died in Syria?
Did you not see what I'm telling you? I saw. I am very concerned about the 100,000 people who have died in Syria, and that is why I refuse to support the giving of arms to militias who have killed more civilians than the government of Bashar al-Assad.